Alright, we are back with Anvil Day. Anvil is another large ship manufacturer that has a lot of ships on display because they are the only ones today. Front and center, the big one, that is the Anvil Carrack. Great exploration vehicle for search and rescues, just getting out and going. I like to use the Carrack a lot for medical. It's got the tier 2 bed in there. Definitely a very, very good ship for a medical team. I usually put the Rescue Pisces here. Fits in the top hangar. And then now the Ursi Medivac can go into that cargo ramp right there. Definitely get it all loaded up with a bunch of medical stuff. Unfortunately, the sides are still not opening. They haven't done a gold pass or anything on the Carrack yet. I have not heard them mention it yet, so it's probably not in production, but I think at some point in time these cargo pods are going to open up somehow to allow you to get inside the actual cargo bay, because right now it's just a little room that you cannot really get anything in and out of. So, not super great with cargo unless you're buying and selling without manually moving. Otherwise, pretty good ship overall. It will probably fall by the wayside for my medical once the Polaris comes out. But in the meantime, it is great for that. 3 different turrets on there. 2 on the sides. You can see 1 right there, and then there's a remote turret up top and bottom, so I guess 4. Sorry, 4 turrets, not just 3. Pisces, there is 3 different variants of these. The Rescue, which is that one. This one is the normal Pisces, and then there's an Exploration Pisces that has an extra few missiles and 2 extra guns on there. Simple little ships. Excuse me, gaggle of people. Simple little ships. Not much to them. Great. Love the medical Pisces the best. It appears like this is what they use to get their inspiration for the Ursa Medivac from, because this one was out a lot sooner. Anvil Aero. Yeah, great little fighter. It's not really used anymore by a lot of people. It's kind of fallen by the wayside for being metas. A lot of people do still use them. They are still pretty great fighters, just not anywhere near the metas anymore. This is the Anvil Gladiator, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Gladiator. Yep. It is a pretty good ship. One of the better ones when it comes to 2-seaters. Pretty fun to fly. It just looks cool. It looks different than like a typical ship in this universe. Good overall though. Good set of missiles on board. Alright, and now we have one of my favorite ships that doesn't do a whole lot right now, but will be at some point in time. I love the look of it. It's like a turtle. Whenever armor comes in the game, this is going to be one of the most heavily armored ships, especially for its size. It deals with scanning and a scout type of a vehicle for, like if your fleet is flying somewhere, you can send this one out first. It's got really, really great scanning. It is the Anvil Terrapin. Here we have the Anvil Hawk, which is a light fighter. Pretty decent ship. I don't see many people flying around in it. Not super maneuverable. Still looks really cool though. Alright, and in this room we have the Hornets. Hurricane, F8 over there, and a Valkyrie in the middle. these Hornets, they appear to be the Mark IIs, at least these first twos. This is the A, and then this is just the standard Mark II. This one appears to be one of the Mark I variants at the end here. Yeah, it's the F7C standard Hornet otherwise. They have a lot of different variations of these, but this is the last time that they're going to be available, I guess, in the stores for the Mark Is. My guess is that they're working on all of those variants for the Mark IIs, and those should be coming out rather soon if they're getting rid of all of the variants of the Mark I. It's just my guess. I mean, they came out with the Mark IIs without telling anybody, so it wouldn't surprise me if they were working on the variants without telling anybody. Here is the Valkyrie. One of my favorite ships in the game. Cargo ramp drops and picks up rather quickly. It is a drop ship. Enough room for an Ursa or two of the Tumbrils. One of my favorite things on this is you can feel like a helicopter pilot or helicopter gunner. Pull this out. Shoot from the window. I just think that's kind of cool. Runs out of ammo rather quickly, but cool nonetheless. And you can get in and out from the side here, just like you would a helicopter. Except dropship, lots of room for people. Then up here is where the ship crew would be. Beds for all of them, gunner seats. There was that gunner seat down below that we saw earlier. This is the pilot. Two remotes. Not anything, too intense, but really cool ship. They're one of my favorites. Engines are going to VTOL, so these engines turn downwards. And that's where the remote turret goes. There's one on either side. Hurricanes. At one point in time, these Hurricanes were used by pretty much everybody in PvP. It's been a little while since that's happened, but still great two-seaters. Not overpowered by any means, but still great ships. F8 Lightning, this one came out, I think, last year at this time. There's a lot of guns on it. Has two up top, two down below here, and two on either wing. So, 8 different guns on there. Lots of firepower forward. Pretty decent ship. If you put cannons on there nowadays, it's pretty much melting a lot of people. But yeah, those are also behind a $300 paywall, I believe. So if you want to use one, you have to buy one out of the game, to my knowledge. So you'd have to go to the Aerospace Industries website for it. Still a great ship though, if you're willing to spend the $300 to fly it. Alright, and Anvil has their own ground vehicles. This first one here is the Spartan. This one over here is the Centurion. Yeah, Centurion. It's the one with a laser turret on there. This one is meant to hold people. One has a gun on the back. I believe those are size 5 Rhinos. That's pretty good turret to be hauling around for great air defense. Check it out. It's a remote turret. Gunner seat.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
They are Rhinos. 4 Rhinos. So essentially you have a hammerhead turret that you can use on the ground or to fight some fighters off from your convoy if you're doing, on the ground stuff. With a cool cannon as well. But the cannon also is more towards ground vehicles rather than air targets. I believe the other variant is over here, the ballista. Lots of people gathered around the ballista. Must be popular. This one just is a missile variant of them. And it has the same turret as the Spartan. What do we got in the Hall of Holograms? This is the Liberator, which is going to be a light carrier. Should be able to hold like 3 or 4 light aircraft, light fighters to heavy fighters. Maybe a Vulture or something like that in the front one. It's going to be a ferry, essentially. It's going to be able to be crewed by 1 to 2 people, have point defense systems to help not die, essentially. But it is open, so as soon as the shields go down or it's a ballistic, any ship that's on there can be shredded by enemy aircraft. Now we have the Spartan. I love the Spartan idea. It is a docking ship where you can hack into an enemy like capital ship, let's just say, dock at the docking collar and pour out 10 different people into and boarding the capital ship. They're talking about putting some cover, some deployable cover inside of the tube that's going to come out, which is a great idea because otherwise you'd be fighting in that hull and not an easy way to get out of there if they don't have the deployable cover and people just start lobbing grenades. People inside the Legionnaire here are not going to be going, they're not going to be doing too well. But still looking forward to that whenever Hacking gets in the game. I believe this ship is in active production, and I believe it is just coming out of White Box. I could be mistaken on that one. If you know which stage it's at, please let me know in the comments. And here we have the Crucible, a heavy repair ship. It will be able to repair any ship in the game, from what I've heard. Once this is in, it's going to be very nice to have for like long convoys and things like that, where you might not always be able to stop at a station to get your repairs in, like when you're fighting Vandul out in Oberon system or Vega or something like that, where there might not be too many stations to land and repair at. Having one of these in the fleet will be essential at that point in time. And there you have it, another awesome day of Invictus in the books. Which ships are you most excited for? Which ships you plan on buying? Let me know in the comments below, and I hope to see you all in the verse.